Hi, everybody. Glad as always to have you with us. Glad you're with us on this Wednesday as well, and glad it's been such a beautiful Wednesday at that. We've got more coming weather wise. We've also got a big cold front and some other factors that are going to give us some cooler air and a continued chance of some showers and storms. It's not going to be a terrible situation, but it's not going to be like it has been for the past few days and stands to be for the rest of your week and some or maybe much of your weekend. An updated forecast forthcoming in just a few moments. Just to look a little farther down the road past tonight's program, I'll refer to it in just a few moments, but the Montgomery County Board of Education meets tomorrow night. The Montgomery County Fiscal Court is not meeting for their regular schedule or at their regularly scheduled time this month and has since set a special called meeting for tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. Just to give you a heads up, items on the agenda including approval of purchase for equipment for the county garage, the Civil War Reenactment Committee, proclamation and resolution dealing with September being Dyslexia Awareness Month, an insurance check for the Ramey Park dugout, sewer agreement. They're opening some blacktop bids, setting tax rates, discussing the Sheriff's Office 911, and getting up to date on the judge's staff. We'll have a camera and all of that and more. Realized today that I've still got Founders Day Parade footage. I'll try to work that in somewhere. I know it's a little late, but we just had a lot of news to cover. We always kind of save that for a slow day and haven't really had any as of late. And I am this close. I believe, an interview away from what has just turned out to be such a fascinating story. One that I had a little knowledge of, but not to this degree now, about the Battle of Hill 303 in the Korean War and how it ties to a local vet that I mentioned couple of days ago, who was recently awarded with the Ambassador of Peace medal. And it's just a great story. And like I said, I think I'm an interview away from having all the material I need to put that together. That's forthcoming in the next few days. For the second time this year, a Kentucky miner has died. This time, the 29-year-old was crushed to death. He was working on a continuous mining machine. It's a large operational miner that goes into the earth and digs out the coal and brings it, of course, to the sunlight. A coal miner died after he was working on just such a machine today, and he's been identified as 29-year-old Ricky Thorpe of Dawson Springs. This happened in the western part of our state, actually in Webster County at the Seabree mine, I am told. No one else was injured. The mine, I have also been told, is reportedly owned by Alliance Resource Partners. It's been closed pending the investigation into the incident. Once again, he was crushed by that heavy piece of machinery and identified as 29-year-old Ricky Thorpe of Dawson Springs, in the second mining fatality this year in Kentucky. An auto accident involved a mail carrier on his route earlier today. The Montgomery County Rescue Squad, other departments responded as well, found the vehicle that had gone over the earthen embankment off the roadway overturned, with the mail carrier fortunately outside the vehicle upon arrival of emergency personnel.
And this is some video that was brought back from the scene, and it shows where the vehicle left the roadway. The mail carrier on his normal route, I do believe, was in his vehicle when it dropped off the roadway over the embankment. It overturned once, landed upright, as you see here. This actually had EMS personnel retrieving some information from his vehicle for him. Nevertheless, you can see the embankment that he went over. It was also an embankment that he, I believe, climbed up and was out of the vehicle upon arrival of emergency personnel. But he was taken by the TranStar ambulance service to an area hospital to make sure that he was okay. He was complaining of some injuries, we believe non-life-threatening at this time. We also were told, and it's been confirmed, that the postmaster from the Sagersville Post Office did arrive on scene, I believe possibly while the carrier was still there and present and not taken by ambulance as of yet. Nevertheless, it also did take possession of the mail to make sure that it would be received by those who it was addressed to. The accident happened in the Gifford Road area, actually on off of 460 in the Chalmer Gullet Road area specifically.
In doing this show since November of 1998, we have covered all sorts of accidents, some serious, some severe, some worse. And I think over the course of those years, I can recall just off the top of my head, maybe 3 or 4 occasions where a student athlete was airlifted from their respective sporting arena or field after sustaining injuries. And that was the case yesterday morning for a South Montgomery Elementary football player.
And these two are photographs that we just received in-house earlier today. And this was about an accident that took place yesterday on the South Montgomery Elementary School grounds. A 12-year-old football player suffered a multiple fracture to his arm, both bones, I'm told, right below his elbow, and had to be airlifted to a trauma center after EMS personnel arrived. The EMT with the TranStar ambulance service determined that it was a trauma situation and asked for a helicopter to be called. Kentucky 9, as you saw, landed at the established landing zone provided by the McGoffin County Rescue Squad and other personnel, and he was airlifted to the, I believe, Cabell Huntington Pediatric Unit. He was said to be, I am told, by family and friends nearby, in good spirits, and that he was experiencing some pain. We're also glad to report that I'm told his mother was allowed to fly with him. While we're certainly sad that he had to have such a traumatic experience, we can only hope that at least he'll have a good story to tell maybe some fellow students when he gets back to school.
And I've got another sports-related report to bring you before we close, and that is of some freshly watered sod, which is taken to the earth earlier today as the new baseball and softball complex is very near completion at the McGoffin County High School. We'll take you there and also talk about how it's going to relate and what kind of effect it's going to have on the Ramey Park next ball season, and some other headlines, all after this.
To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
Other headlines: the Johnson County Sheriff's Department has released the following information about a drug arrest following an investigation into the Turner Branch Hill Trailer Court area in Whitensville.
In reference to a drug investigation, Deputy Byron Fairchild and Deputy Jesse Mullins reported that the homeowner, identified as 54-year-old Woody Estep of Paintsville, was interviewed and that he gave consent to search the residence on a video recorder. Later, Deputy Fairchild was able to locate a quantity of prescription pain medication, a quantity of white powder substance believed to be methamphetamine, and several other types of controlled prescription medication, as well as a large amount of other paraphernalia, baggies included, and cash inside the home and on the person of Woody Estep himself. The case is still being actively investigated, the department says, and more, as well as adding that they were assisted by Paintsville City Police and Constable of District 2 Bob Hyden. The sheriff urges anyone in the community to report any suspicious drug activity and give them a call. You can remain anonymous at 789-3411. They also cited Estep with trafficking in a controlled substance in the first-degree first offense, possession in the first degree, possession of a controlled substance not in its proper container, and possession of drug paraphernalia. More headlines in a moment, and a beautiful evening weather-wise that I'll elaborate more on in the weather forecast. For now, just a couple of quick reminders sponsored by McGoffin Farm Bureau in our community calendar. A presentation, one more weekend of it, Friday, Saturday at 7, Sunday at 3, presentation of the reunion at the Story Patch over at the Oscar, the Old Oil Springs Elementary School, directed by Terry Salyer, sponsored by the Route 23 Cultural Heritage Network and the Johnson County Cooperative Extension Office. You've got 3 shows, 789-9108 to get your tickets. 33 classes, $10 to enter each one. Admission is just $5. Kids 8 and under get in free at a fun horse show at the Morgan County Equestrian Park on this Saturday the 19th, with all proceeds going to the building fund for the Elk Creek Free Will Baptist Church. Great evening, great variety, and just, of course, a great cause to support. The McGoffin County Local Board for ASAP is having their next quarterly meeting on Monday of next week at the Health Department in their education room. Refreshments will be served. This meeting is open to the public, and they are invited. You are invited. And the recovery celebration at the McGoffin County Health Department has also been set for later on not this Saturday, but next, with live music, free lunch, and door prizes, and I'll remind you about that a little bit later. Early next week is, in fact. But now I need to remind you about the Royalton Trailtown Committee. They've got their next meeting set for the District 3 Fire Department at 6 o'clock. That is this coming Monday. And all Royalton residents are encouraged to attend, and they're hoping that you'll come and get involved. Everyone attending is going to be asked to serve on some sort of a committee, so come give some time and help them become a trail town. And when they succeed, not if, but when they succeed, it's going to be a major player in the rebuilding, we'll say, or rejuvenation, whatever you want to, however what you want to put it, of the Royalton and surrounding area. Becoming a trail town is a major deal, and they're working very hard on it, and they'd like you to come join them. If you've got a calendar announcement, birthday, anniversary, or otherwise, or something for your church, group, or organization like you just heard, send it to me. Mail it to P.O. Box 1443 in Sagersville. Our phone is 3699. Our fax is 3221. YourNewsToday@yahoo.com is email. I'm on Facebook at Ritter Mortimer. And if you missed programming the first time or need to catch it again, go to YourNewsToday.com. And one more quick thing of note. The program, as I understand, there were some issues with one of the 11 o'clock broadcasts, so I did, and that was uploaded earlier than normal to the website. Keep that in mind. And also, I did clean up the audio, and specifically when there was some air conditioning that kicked on, I believe, during Judge Hardin's statement before the library board in that particular instance, and that is on YourNewsToday.com if you would like to turn there to find out more. Turning to funeral service announcements that are all brought to us by the Montgomery County Funeral Home. Benjamin Franklin Arnett, Jr., 50 of Kane Road. Ben Arnett passed away on yesterday's date. He was the son of Gloria Cronk Arnett and the late Benjamin Arnett. Besides his mother, he survived by his daughters, Emily and Lindsay. Visitation has been set in Ben's honor for after 6 o'clock this Saturday, and prior to services, they'll begin Sunday morning at 11, all from the Montgomery County Funeral Home. In lieu of flowers, the family requests that you make contributions to the Shriners Children's Hospital. Very fitting. Everyone knows that he was such an avid member and supporter of the Shriners and had been for so many, many years and such a big part of his life. And maybe just a bit more on Ben just briefly before we close. We've also learned of the passing of 74-year-old Vernie Prater of Jackson, who passed away on today's date. The Montgomery County Funeral Home, who is handling the arrangement, says they're just not complete at this time, but they will be announced soon in honor, once again, of 74-year-old Vernie Prater of Jackson. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
While most of us are just struggling to try to keep our lawns mowed, it's not been quite as bad as of late with all the dry air and not so much rain. But today I found some folks feverishly trying to get theirs down and get it to grow. I also found Sagersville Mayor Pete Shepard there, who I got a few words from, who was just more than admiring the new complex, the Montgomery County High School baseball and softball field, but also checking in on the water that was being applied by the Sagersville Fire Department. My question to him was, and his answer was, that he believes that it's not only a great thing for the new school, and for the school system by and large in the county, but that having the new athletic complex for the high school and softball teams will have a positive impact on the Ramey Park and its patrons in more ways than one.
The lush green paths of grass, if you will, started going down early this morning. By mid-afternoon, the softball field grass was pretty much already done. All the infield is the brick dust for the girls' softball field. And they had started on the baseball field. Here you can see the edges starting to be laid down. And we also got to see just how they do it. Yep, that's pretty cool, I guess. And they actually had hopes of having all the sod down by this evening or in the morning and getting a final coat of water, final drenching of water, we should say, before crews went on to another portion of the complex, which is getting very close to being completed. Both fields are due to be completed by the first week in October, and that is all amenities, with the exception, I believe, of the press box, concession stand, restroom, which is all one facility, of which the bids are being let out for tomorrow afternoon at 2.
Oh yeah, got to have water to grow grass. Well, it's just going to give them more time to play, more games to play, and like you say, it's going to let less congestion with the girls softball and the boys baseball being up here full time. It's going to free up one or girls softball field full time for probably little league, t-ball, whatever we want to do, and it's going to be great, I think, for the park and for the high school. I think it's going to cost the city less because the baseball and the girls softball required a little bit more, with especially getting the brick dust and all the stuff that they required in the infields, and getting the lights fixed, and we've already got them fixed now. So I think it's going to be a positive fix for the city. I think we'll probably save about $10,000 to $15,000 a year.
The fencing is going up around the tennis courts. The irrigation system is laid. They still have to apply the sprinkler heads. The lights are pretty much up and done. They have the windbreaks to apply to the fencing when it is all completed. The brick dust to be laid down. The yellow protective barrier, if you will, on the top of the fence. Some brick walls that will make it very attractive in front of the dugouts, and all that to be done once again by the first week in October. And once again, bids to be open tomorrow at 2 for the press box, concession stand, and restroom facility. We have plans on having a camera there and getting some more information about the facility and the project for you on tomorrow night's program. But for now, a whole lot of grass and a whole lot of water that's been going down all day long. Be interesting to see the transformation by tomorrow or over the course of the next few days. One more point of business before I leave you, and that is coming up after the weather forecast, but I'm going to go ahead and go there now, and it is, as always, powered by Licking Valley RECC, where if you enjoyed today, want some more, or if you got stuck inside and missed it, I've got another chance or two for you. That's right. We have more beautiful weather in store and a big cold front to talk about. Ultimately, from around 87 here at the newsroom, I think we'll fall back to 51 tonight. We'll do so under mostly clear skies and some patchy fog after 4 a.m. That patchy fog will linger until around 9 or so in the morning, but otherwise mostly sunny. Let's take out the mostly. Let's just say sunny tomorrow and a high right around 82, a calm wind becoming south-southwest around 5 miles per hour maybe in the afternoon. Other than that, mostly clear late, little patchy fog late tomorrow night as well, with a low of 54. That sets up your Friday with a little more patchy AM fog till around 9, more sunshine above, more temperatures in the low 80s. Are you getting tired of this yet? No, of course not. Nighttime lows also improving up to around 60 degrees under mostly clear skies late. A wonderful night for Friday night football, to say the least, or anything you plan on doing. Anything outside, anything but being inside. It's going to be great for. As for your weekend, there are some changes in store for your weekend. Mostly sunny and 82 on your Saturday. We've got a cold front coming, and it's significant in size, and it's also got some other factors and another front that's going to mess with it. And altogether, we're going to see a 20% chance of showers and storms. But this is late Saturday night, to the degree that I'm not really worried about it here in eastern Kentucky for any point in the evening or late night hours. Sunday, we do have a better shot. I think we'll have 20 to maybe even a 30% chance of some showers and storms. But look at temperatures. That's not an error on my part. I do have those all the time. Not this one. 71. Yep, we're going to see some cool air filter in, and it's going to be very noticeable. 71, partly sunny, and low 54, but still nice, albeit dodging a threat of some showers and storms. Monday, 71. Same thing, partly sunny, still a 30% chance. Temperatures from there, well, my forecast just runs to Wednesday and Thursday of next week, and I only have temperatures going to 74 up until that point, with pretty much the same scenario. 30% chance of showers and storms throughout every day, and some sunshine, partly to mostly sunny skies. So not bad at all. Just different. Different's good.
And one more thing in closing tonight, instead of our usual thanks, just another thought that I would like to share if you'll oblige me for just a few moments. I'm not for certain who took the picture that I'm about to share with you this evening, or who was responsible for the lovely memorial that it is a focus of. There indeed are so many stories and so many jokes and so many laughs that could be shared and told, but at this time we just don't have those words to share with you. Only 2 words to pass along to you tonight, 2 words that are so synonymous with a beloved friend of ours who has been known and been loved by so many.
I have been honored all my life, but I can't recall a time in my life that I didn't know him, because he was always around the family and only a few years older than I was. And I realized and have great understanding I don't know him as good as so many others who were around him every day. And I don't know everything about Ben's life, but I know none of our lives are all rainbows and puppies. But you would never know that if that was the case about Ben's, because you never saw him that you didn't leave with a smile and a laugh. The jokes, the pranks were unprecedented. I'm hoping to maybe even get a few folks to share those with me. If you'd like to do so on Facebook, please feel free to do so. We might try to relay those at another time, because some of them were truly epic, and he was so well known for them. but he was also so well known for other things like two simple words that came off of his lips to every single lady who walked in the True Value or happened to cross his eyesight. I wish that I had spent more time to make this a little more eloquent, but Ben is the only person that ever came to me and said, I'd like to sit and do your job for a week, and he did so. So he has a complete understanding as just how time is so limited around here. But it is not without great heartfelt sorrow and a sincere absence that we feel in our hearts that we say goodbye to our friend. And I wish to thank whoever is responsible for the memorial that sits on the counter at True Value. That is truly a beautiful job, very well done, and certainly to the point.